Hey, Papercut here, back with another replay review. We have Rawl429, who is a Plat Roost player, playing against Lego Sloth, a English player. Rawl messaged me on my coaching Discord asking, he was just asking for different strategic advice around Roost 1 TC versus 2 TC, things like that. And I just asked, hey, can I just look at your games? Because while it's great to talk the strategy and how we do 1 TC versus 2 TC, a lot of it is just seeing the visual. So he's won a bunch of games, but I did find a loss. And we want to look at, of course, as always, what he did well, what he could do differently, and some keys and things to work on. Especially because he loves to do this 2 TC style. Now, against English, 2 TC is tough. And any Civ that wants to be aggressive and can be aggressive immediately because of landmarks, so French, Chef Dark, English, who can all make units straight out of their starting landmark, it's difficult to 2 TC against because they're in your base immediately. So you might need to place it, if you go for it, you might need to place it carefully or like safely. Because if he gets a longbow in here, he shuts that down. 2, your comp. You're going to want to go knights. Because the way to think about it is the longer feudal goes, the more your knights will just overpower his units. Even if you go spears. If you go spears, you go archers. And then you're doing that little back and forth engagement where you're trying to kill his spears of your archers, and you don't need to kill all the spears, just enough that then you can get on top of his archers and win. Another thing knights allow you to do is to raid him. English does great if you leave them unopposed. By you going knights, especially if you're going to go 2 TC and play defensive, while you're waiting and defending, you need to use the knights to then raid or to cut off reinforcements, which is a number one way to come back on defense. So let's see how you do. So our little usual Roost mini game here. If you're someone who wants to work on their micro or their okay, good. More so on the micro, want to work on their ability to multitask. Roost is a great Civ to learn that on. The key of Roost in the 3 scout method: first scout goes far, second scout goes short, like he did here, to grab sheep and get him back to your TC, and your third one goes far again, just trying to hunt down those hunts. I don't like this placement of the Kremlin. So you have to think about how your Kremlin has to buy you space, especially against longbows. This is a little too safe because imagine if the Kremlin's here, he can actually still space out your gold, like still shoot at your villagers on gold. And he still has this ability to walk by here and get to your stone. Looking at your options here, you have 2 great TC spots here. Or over here is even great too, because look at this right here. TC here, gold, stone, boar, deer. Now if you scout him, you see he's doing longbow rush, you want to get it safe. And if you put your Kremlin here, see how that Kremlin buys you space here? So I would have been a little more aggressive on the Kremlin. But your goal right now is you should be at his base by the time he hits feudal. So you know, is he longbow rushing? Is he 2 TCing himself? Things like that. Because that allows you to adjust how greedy you can be if you're TC. Ninja. Put your villager splits. Yeah, see, we need to be an opponent here. Why are we not looking at his landmark? So, already right here. You're not scouting close enough. Look. And you would see he already put down a barracks, and he already has his first spearman out and his first longbow out, and this tells me there's pressure. Immediately this tells me there's pressure. Because if he was going to go fast castle, he was going to 2 TC, he would already be on stone, or he would have more on gold, so he's going to rush you. So this is just how you place your TC. I would place it not here now, because it'll be hard for you to defend. Oh, you're going to place it here. Okay, you're lucky that he is not aggressive. So a better English player, which I played against Lego Sloth before. He's a good English player. It's no shape. I'm talking like very high level English players. I always try to coach to. I imagine everyone I replay review one day be conquer, right? So like, what is the things you should expect? He's gonna be across the map because he will anticipate my Roost opponent's gonna go 2 TC. He wants to stop you getting the juiciest TC spot, which his first one he'd try to stop is here. He would have his scout over here, and if you try to place it over here, he would run over and stop that one too. The point being is, you are lucky. This should not have gotten here. I would suggest you put it here, once again, where it's protected by the Kremlin. Or you could have placed it like here, had your little wood pocket protected, because right now wood is pretty important to you. Okay, boom, here are his units coming out. So what are you going to put? Okay, you're going to go mass archers. Here's why I'm not a huge fan of mass archers. Unless your archers have some sort of special ability. So like, Chinese, for example, they can do Zignu, which are outranged by longbows, but if you do something like horsemen or something to slow them down, you can get in range and you're good to go. Only going archers, if I'm English and I see you going archers, I only go longbows and I win. You see what I mean? So you need something to force him to go spears, which is your knights, to then make the archers effective. So sure, go mass archers, but we really need some sort of knights to force the issue, and make him make spears and not make longbows. Okay, so he's going quick ram. He's going in on immediately. Okay, so the little dance we're going to need to do here is going to be really key. Ooh, I would have... Okay, so here's the key thing about English. English is slow. So wherever you see them... Also, English is not going to split their forces a lot, because their power comes from going this big longbow mass. Yeah, they might like send a longbow over here, but let's look. Nope. Nope, he's not checking. He's scouted. He's confident where you are. He's going to go right at that spot. I would have placed this wall here, knowing that his forces were here. And then I would have grabbed the hunts. You would have got the boar, you could have got the deer, which really powered your early food economy and given you an advantage. Yeah, so let's talk about how you play this. Your key here is, one, I would have got stone to get your arrow slits upgrade. I would have just kept like 1 or 2 on stone and gotten arrow slits, which would have helped range out his longbows and spears. 2, what I should see is when his ram comes in, you have your archers ready to go here, so you should be rallying your archers to here. The second he starts hitting the wooden fortress, you need to garrison villagers in the wooden fort. You need to garrison, archers in the wooden fortress, and have the villagers siege it down. And then whenever he brings his units up to kill your villagers, you walk back. But the reason you need the archers garrison the wooden fortress is that will shoot them if they walk in. It's your best defense against this. So that's why arrow slits helps, because arrow slits makes it so if they come in to shoot you while you're attacking the ram, they can't do that. It's also important to check our macro in this time, because in defense, macro is so important. Like, you have to make sure you're not wasting resources. You're making as many units as you can. So I'm glad you dropped in the stable. You have the gold. You don't have anyone on gold yet, so this gold's going to go quick. Luckily, because you did place this TC here, the gold is safe, relatively. But you need to be collecting gold, because you want to make a lot of knights. And you want to keep making archers, you need more on wood, because you're burning through this wood right now making archers. We also need a blacksmith, because arrow defense against longbows is super important, and getting arrow damage for your archers is vital. Okay, we see the villager come in. A lot of pausing early, but this early back and forth between English is really important. You cannot let him get the tower up. Like, I would literally sacrifice archers to come in and just continuously kill out his villager. 1, he loses the villager. 2, him getting the tower up gives him that attack bonus and makes it so much harder to dislodge him. And that's why also, once again, having a knight out early would have been helpful, because the knight, if you have your scout here and you see the villager walking across, his villager walked across for free. You could have hit him with your knight, took him out. Comes in. So this is why I prefer, in this case, having your archers in the wooden fortress, because they'll do just as much work in the wooden fortress as outside of it, so you're protecting your archers. 2, your villagers are the ones sieging down the battering ram, and so having them out and sieging and never have to worry about them popping out of the wooden fortress is huge. So yeah, that's why you really want to keep the archers in the wooden fortress, and then pop them out once they run away to get more shots on. 2, another reason why it's been really nice to have knights out. Knights can do charge damage onto the battering ram. If you have like 3 or 4 knights charge onto the ram, they'll do a lot of damage. Then you just run them back. You keep doing that charge attack into the ram to take chunks of health off it. Good hold. Okay, so this tower cannot stay. I would actually run the villagers up and burn it right now, because you have successfully dislodged him from this position. This is your best moment right here. Let's see, you have 16. He has 14. This is your moment. I need to see you spending all your resources, so I need knights out now. I would drop another stable. You're making archers great. I would call the gremlins and get them up here I would sacrifice villagers to siege down this outpost because it cannot stay. It is almost done. You have to get rid of it right now. Why did we run away? You're letting him reinforce, and then also you got cows, so now you're not reinforcing, and now he's just gonna keep massing longbows again. You had to press that advantage right then, because he can make longbows faster than you right now, or at least the same speed as your archers. And that was your chance when you had more numbers to overwhelm him and push him back and burn this tower down. And now he's gonna have men-at-arms, and this is another reason why you need knights, right? The second you see those men-at-arms, I'm salivating as a Rus player. Oh, I can go pure knights and not have to worry about a thing. That's very nice. It's very nice. Continued. Okay, and once again, knights out earlier, you could have killed those villagers on the cross. Now this is way harder, because now all of his units have 20% attack speed. We see maintain our tenets of defense. Our tenets of defense are we do not take a fight unless we have to. We use our defensive bonuses, such as our town centers, our wound fortresses, to help us hold. You really need to have upgraded this wound fortress. And you being on berries really hurts. It would have been better for you to take these hunts. He's not leaving this spot. He's not. Because him breaking off like 4 units could be the difference between him winning or losing this fight. And you need to mass knights. Here's the thing. And I'm going to harp on this. It's so important. Going knights early, let's look at his eco. Wide open. He's going on this stone. Wide open. This tree line. Wide open. These farms, easy to raid. His eco was completely open to night raids, where you run in with 2 knights, insta-kill Vil, run away, do it again, and he just chases you, and he gets nervous, and you waste resources on leaving spears, on building towers, things like that, which just buys you time to let your eco, because right now he's on a timer. He has to kill you, or at least do damage before your 2 TCs pay off, because he has 40 right now. Okay, you call the gremlins now. You have to follow them in. If they're going to kill this battering ram, you have to follow them in. Because if he's going to defend the ram, right? So if he's targeting the gremlins, that gives you space to run in and start killing his units while he's defending the ram. See, doesn't do anything. So you have enough archers. You really do. More archers is going to be the thing here, because his men-at-arms are going to eat up that archer fire. It's knights. You need knights. Just a lot of knights. One thing you can do is, at this point, you can like sneak over and just drop a dock and start getting fishing boats. Once again, he's not leaving the spot. This is his winning condition right here. Look how much gold you have. Why do you have 23 on gold? It's a lot on gold that you don't need. You're not even building knights. Like, you need food. You need so much food. And I think potentially the reason you're on gold is that you ran out of food and you don't really have a place to send these villagers. Fine. This is when you need to go YOLO a little bit. Something you should know. Oh, nice dock. One thing you should know. 1. English players never take their boar. Go take the boar. Just run them over here, take the boar. Once again, this hunt over here is open. You could take in the hunt, run over and take in his hunt. I'm serious. They don't check. They're all farms. They just do farms. So... And a lot of times they don't check the hunts on their site because they don't think anyone's that, like, ballsy to go take them. So just use the hunts because you have way too much gold. At worst, you should drop a market and just buy food because you just need knights. You just need knights. That's your civ's advantage, right? Use your civ's bonuses. You know, 10, 12 knights do so much work here. And the reason your knights, you're gonna say, man, my knights are being melted. Okay, you just got that. Okay, that should help a lot. But this is a losing battle. You're not gonna win going mass archers against them. And this age up is death. It's death because you can't defend this. I would have aged up over you if I had just won a fight. And he's having to reinforce because that buys me time to drop my castle and get units. I'm not sure you can hold this. Especially if you had more men-at-arms, I'd be a little more worried. But having nothing, the TC really sucks. At least put archers in there, because this TC needs to be at least doing some damage while it's being sieged down. If I'm him, I'm like, oh, it's go time. Oh, this hurts. You need to get horticulture. The second you do this big farm transition, you gotta go horticulture. This is another reason why I wouldn't have gone castle, because in this farm transition, you have no food. You also went up with gold villagers, which means you have no gold for upgrades. You can do your knight upgrade, that's it. When you really need to get archer, like, you have so many archers, you need your archer upgrade right now. Your archer upgrade will give you more health, and you can also get the second you aged up, you should have gone with your archers, and then done the next wedge rivets. That would have been huge for your defense here. Because +2 armor makes it so your archers are taking 5 damage, which helps significantly. And the reason I'm saying this is, like, I'm just asking myself, what's going to help me survive? What does he have a lot of? Archers. What do I have a lot of? Archers. Sweet, I should get archer upgrade and wedge rivets. Next, he has no spears. I then go knights. And I need a mangonel immediately, because the mangonel saves my life. So I sell food, I get mangonel. And here's another thing. If you do knights or men-at-arms, mass men-at-arms works here too, which uses your food effectively. Just get a couple mangonels and just work him down. He's also aged up, so... Oh, nice mangonel, I missed it. You see the power of him just being, like, consistent. He never gives you space. You're so... Okay, good. I was gonna say, time to start getting relics. If you want... Ooh. I see the vision. I see the vision. The key... One, you need to do a mass of them. Like 4 or 5. And sail them up at the same time. So the area effect damage really hits. And once you sailed them up, and he turns to fight them, you could have then ran in with your upgraded archers in a perfect world. And then did a little sandwich maneuver here. Running them one at a time, those get picked by the archers. 2, you could have done incendiaries. And then try to get like a big hit if you get them in the center. Just a thought. You really need a castle. So what would have been great is if you took some of these food villagers, because you have so much food, you kind of went too ham into food. So now you can't spend it all. And got on stone. And gotta keep up. We need 3 mangonels. 3 mangonels allows you to do instant kills with them. There we go. You're just reading my mind again. It's just a little bit late every single time. Do not walk out with 1 spring ult. You need 2 at least. But why are the veteran archers? Right? Where are the veteran archers? I think you either do mass knights archers or you do mass men at arms mangonels and spring ults. That's kind of your 2 options. Because when you get this many longbows, even going knight sucks. He's still just... You need a lot of knights to make it work. Mangonels is the only thing that really clean sweeps these. But you have yet to raid. Or you're raiding now, but it's kind of late. It's too late on this raid, because he's at the doorstep. In fact, this raid is making it harder for you to defend. Because you use too many. I would have used like 2 knights, or 3 knights. Okay, so I have nothing to defend. The lack of upgraded archers hurts. But look what you're dying with. 3,000, 4,000 food. 2,000 wood. That's just a macro mistake. It just felt like after you hit castle, you stopped checking your resources and adjusting based on your resources. Because it didn't really feel like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. You stopped making archers. You can't just stop making units. Honestly, you made this mangonel, you kind of stopped making units. Because if all these resources were horsemen and spears, you actually hold that in a way. Because this is just wasted resources. If the second you hit castle, you had either done mass knights, which you're doing now, but it's too late. If you had done like 5 stables mass knights, or you have them right now, but you could have done that the second hit castle, or done mass stable, or done mass barracks and mangonels and men at arms, you're doing okay. But sticking with the archers was rough, because the second he hits castle age men at arms, your archers don't do shit anymore. So a lack of counter. to really hurt you here. So, what's kind of our takeaways? Defense is hard, and you actually did a good job of it in the sense that you were very patient with your defense. You kept making units, you kept pushing back. The problem after that is that you never raided, which would have forced him to respond to you, slow down his eco, slow down his unit production. You never cut off reinforcements, which would have forced him to slow down his reinforcements, but also forced him to come back and hunt down the knights, things like that. And part of the reason you didn't do that is because you went to knights so late, which goes to my second point. You didn't lean into your Civ's bonuses. Roos's bonuses are feudal knights, and the power of going to hunts and using those wooden fortresses. You never went to the hunts. You just left them, which made you starving for food, which made it harder to do knights. Third is counters. You never created the right counters. When you went men-at-arms, you didn't go mass knights. In castle, you didn't go knights. You didn't make enough mangonels. You didn't upgrade your archers. Like it just felt like you kind of just lost steam. Next is the macro and castle. Make sure you are always checking resources and moving villagers, and asking like, what's the thing I need to beat what he has right now. But besides that, I mean, you played a good game, but it's some key moments, like letting him get the tower up, not pushing back when you had that timing moment. That timing moment being when he has transition to farms and he fails his first push. You didn't go out and stop him. You didn't upgrade the tower, which would have given you more range. Just little things like that add up, and in this case led to this loss. But there's a lot of good things. You did a lot of good things in the game. I think there's a lot of good things to work on. If you are watching this game and you're interested in your own help, please come to my Discord. The link will be in the description. Ask for some help, get some coaching. I just want to help people get better at the game. And with that, if you're watching this, good luck on all your future games.